What up, y'all? It's your guy Dawson from D&D TV. Thank you for rating, commenting, and subscribing. Everybody who's donated, those of you all who will. Also, go over to my other YouTube channel, Dawson Speaks TV. Make sure you subscribe over there and click that notification bell so you get notifications when I drop a new video. Now, let's get into this topic. All right, y'all. Thanks for clicking on the video. I want to give a special shout out to one of my subscribers, Lovely So Sweet. Lovely So Sweet commented on the video I did on Pastor Dwayne Dawkins apologizing and stepping down from the pulpit. And Lovely So Sweet said, his wife was pretty. Thank you, Dawson. Both my husbands was gay. First husband died of AIDS in 1993. It's real. And Lovely, I thought about your comment because if you all read further down, because a lot of people started responding to her, she even stated that she's not going to date black men anymore based on her experiences. Now, that's up to her what she chooses to do. I don't tell people who to date. That lady went through this. She could say whatever she wants to say. But what it did, Lovely, was it made me think. And while I was sitting at the computer reading through those comments, someone sent me an update of a story I did about 2 years ago on Pastor Andre Leapard. Pastor Andre Leapard was a closeted man who was an associate pastor up in Virginia, and he also was HIV positive. Andre Leapard was involved with men and women on and off throughout his life, and eventually he met a man and he did not disclose his HIV status while he was an associate pastor. When the man found Andre Leapard's HIV medication, he contacted the police and Andre Leapard was arrested. Now Andre Leapard has a video out with the Elizabeth Taylor AIDS Foundation, and he is working hard or has worked hard to decriminalize the requirement to disclose if one is HIV positive but undetectable. Now, before I show you all this video, let me say this. I have family members and friends who are HIV positive. I have lost family members and friends to AIDS in the 90s and the early 2000s. And also, I'm a social worker, so I've worked with clients who've had multiple STDs and, some who've had HIV as well. So I'm not insensitive when it comes to this topic, but I do believe, undetectable or not, if you're in a relationship with someone and you haven't disclosed to them what you have, it's not fair to that person, even if it's undetectable, for you just to say, oh, I thought they would leave me. I didn't think they could handle it. You're taking away their choice. Now, I'm going to let you all watch this video, and I'll be back with the rest of my commentary, and y'all know I'm not going to hold back on this one.
Pastor sits in jail accused of knowingly giving another man a sexually transmitted disease.
News 3's Margaret Kavanaugh spoke to the pastor's brother and sister tonight. And Margaret, what are they saying?
They say they don't believe the accusations and say their brother was being extorted by someone. They wouldn't speak on camera, but they say there's a lot more to this situation. 40-year-old Andre Leapard remains locked up in the Newport News jail. Today, he was arrested for sexual battery with intent to transmit infection. Newport News police say their investigation began back on April 12th when a Hampton man told authorities that he contracted an STD from Leapard, who knew he was infected. 2 months later, Leapard was arrested. News 3 met up with his siblings. They didn't want to speak on camera, but they say their brother has always been honest about his medical situation with those closest to him, and they don't believe the accusations. His neighbor was stunned to hear about the arrest.
That's a surprise, because to me, he is a very good person.
Teresa Redfern says he is a fantastic neighbor.
Once we removed that tree, he even helped us, and he didn't have to with money.
Leapard is an associate pastor at the Fellowship United Church of Christ in Chesapeake.
He always says hi. I know he goes to church on Sundays.
We've reached out to the church. Church leaders confirm Leapard works there, but declined to comment on the case. And Leapard is expected back in front of a judge July 11th. In the studio, I'm Margaret Kavanaugh, News 3.
Thanks, Margaret. I'll take it from here. All right, y'all, let's go in. Now, a plea agreement was reached in Pastor Andre Leapard's case. Pastor Leapard was charged with sexual battery with the intent to transmit an STD. The agreement amended charges from a felony to a misdemeanor, which some people didn't like that. But Pastor Leapard pled no contest to an Alford plea, meaning he's agreeing to the guilty plea, but he does not admit to the criminal act and says that he's still innocent. Pastor Leapard was given a 12-year suspended sentence with the conditions that he has 1 year good behavior and does not have contact with the victim. Now, Andre Leapart has a video on YouTube, which I'm going to show you all the link and you all can go over there and watch it, where he basically said that he was basically living a lie. The church that he was the assistant pastor didn't know that he was gay. They didn't know he was HIV positive. Of course, that's not their business. They don't have to know that. But the man that he was so-called dating at the time, who he was with, he didn't disclose that information to him as well. And I want you all to really, go over there and watch his story, because stuff like this is happening in the church, especially the black church. Andre Leapart was a pastor of a black church. And for some reason, churches don't like talking about this, especially black people, black churches. Thank God for the vloggers and the bloggers who put this stuff out there. Thank God for us, because all y'all would tell people, oh, I know it happened to you in church. I know they molested you. I know your husband gave you STD. I know he lied to you. I know he beat you with a baseball bat. But on that great getting up morning, we're going to march on up to Zion. The hell with that. Before that great getting up morning come, go press charges on his ass. I'm serious. I think some of y'all think we're our grandparents and great-grandparents and mothers and fathers who sat in these institutions where people could walk all over you and treat you like a dog. Those days are gone. Look here. Andre Leapart, Pastor Andre Leapart, was wrong. Andre Leapart, I don't care what videos you do on YouTube, you were wrong. And anyone who is in a relationship with someone and you have an STD, especially an incurable one, you need to let that person know. I understand that we have PrEP. I'm happy we have it. Now, I think if you out there wilding out, you need to go get on it. But PrEP is a prevention. It's not a cure. I'm happy for the drugs that they have for even with herpes and other stuff and, things they're working with HPV. People go through this stuff, you all. I get comments all the time. Just yesterday, a lady hit me up and she said, Dawson, my cousin's ex-husband, and I'm glad he's ex. She said my cousin's ex-husband gave her herpes. And she said he was a hoe-ass nigga out there sleeping with everybody. Y'all, this is going on in the church. Now, in the comment section on that video, Andre Leapart did say the conviction was disclosure and not spreading HIV. There's a difference. And I know there are people out there who are going to say, Dawson, well, people got to look out for themselves. You can't just take people's word and you can't trust people. I agree with that. And I've often said that we're our own first line of defense. But here's the thing. If you're in a relationship with somebody and they have something and haven't disclosed it with you, that's betrayal. Because some people, they did go get tested and then found out, that person stepped out on them in the relationship and now they have an STD. And they're not telling them, but they're taking medication. That's wrong. That's not love. Now, you all, I'm off of this topic. Go over to the Elizabeth Taylor AIDS Foundation YouTube channel, and you can see Andre Leapart's video. It's true, not true crime story. Andre Leapart, HIV is not a crime. I'm going to leave a link to that video in the description box. And also, let me know, do you think that people who knowingly and unknowingly spread STDs, do you think they should be charged? I'd like to hear what you all have to say on that. And make sure you all look in this description box below under this video and watch Andre Leapart's confession over there on the Elizabeth Taylor Foundation, his video about everything that happened. All right? Take care of yourself and each other. Peace.